Recording, yes. Okay.
Okay, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Um, Seeing a few familiar names. Good to have you here. Thank you so much. I think it's good morning for some of you. It's afternoon for some of you. So wherever you're dialing in from, hello. Thank you for joining today for the Q&A session, the SEED Inclusivity Program, which is going to wait maybe 1 more minute, um, and then we will get started. And then I'll give you a bit of an introduction to myself and what we're going to be doing today, and then we can take it from there. Okay, so maybe just another minute of waiting, and then we will get started.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Um, just hoping for 1 more person to be joining. Romy, do you mind sending a message, someone in the background, do you mind sending Rezki a message with the Zoom link?
Yes, let me do that.
Yep, I told him we're starting. But in the meantime, hello everybody. Really great to have all of you here. I'm sure some of you have a few questions around what is this program, and what does it look like for you if you are joining. Hello Adam, thank you for joining. We will have, I think my colleague should be able to pin you so you are visible to everybody. But let me know if my pace is okay for you. Okay, good. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for joining. I think we can get started, and I'll talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. This session shouldn't take too long. We planned for 1 hour, but it may only be 30 minutes. So there's a couple of us who are going to be speaking today. That is going to be myself. So I am the program lead of the SEED Inclusivity Program. And we also have a guest speaker as well coming in called Rezki Atiana. And Rezki is a previous participant of the first cohort of the SEED Inclusivity Program. So he'll be sharing a bit of his experience and his insights into what it looked like as a founder joining this program. So before we jump into a little bit, I just want to put onto the screen one of my favorite quotes that has been a sort of a guiding quote throughout this project, which is, there is no greater disability in society than the inability to see a person as more. So this is Robert M. Hensel, and I think it's a very profound quote, and it's something that certainly guides us day to day. So what are we going to do today? So I'm going to give you a very quick introduction to Seedstars and Visa, as this program is a partnership between Visa and Seedstars. And then I'm going to tell you a bit about the program, exactly what it looks like, and how it is for a founder. And then we have Rezki, who I believe has just joined us. You can probably see him now on the screen. And he's going to be sharing a bit about his experience for 5 minutes or so in the SEED Inclusivity Program. Many of you also submitted some questions when you registered. And so we've got all of those here, and I'll be answering those one by one. And Rezki can also help me answer those if he thinks he has a good answer for it. And also we have some time at the end for any questions that have come up throughout the program, throughout this call. So you can ask even more questions at the end. Of course, feel free to ask questions in the chat as well. That's absolutely not a problem. All right, so Seedstars. Seedstars is a Swiss-founded organization. We are a venture capital and a global entrepreneurial capacity building organization. We have been around for 12 years, and we are operating in over 90 countries. We've mobilized over $1 billion in impact capital. And we have supported over 5,500 entrepreneurs across emerging markets. I think we've now conducted around 60 to 70 programs globally, each with a different theme or a focus. And we have been partnering with Visa. So Visa Foundation and Seedstars have been working together for a few years on the topic of disability and also in care. And so that's just a bit of background to the two organizations. Let's jump in to what is the SEED Inclusivity Program. So the SEED Inclusivity Program is a program designed to empower entrepreneurs with disabilities and to sort of support and foster and cultivate innovative solutions for people in India, Vietnam, and Indonesia, and other parts of Asia. So this is not limited to those three countries. Our goal is to really support this ecosystem of assistive technology, of accessibility organizations, and anything that is really addressing the needs of people living with disabilities. We have already completed one cohort. So from January to June, July this year, there's our first cohort of entrepreneurs, 15 founders who are from India, they were from Indonesia, they were from Thailand, Hong Kong. And we are now, as you know, in the open call for applications for cohort 2. So the SEED Inclusivity Program is about supporting those founders and supporting those entrepreneurs, but also it's about advocacy. It's about bringing to the mainstream center stage this topic, this area, and sort of raising awareness around the importance of investing into this space. And SEED Inclusivity stands for Seedstars Entrepreneurial Ecosystem Development. Excuse me. There's a bit of a play on the Seedstars name, and it's the Inclusivity Program. So, Cohort 2, when is this taking place? The deadline for applications is the 19th of September. I think many of you may know this. Some of you have already submitted your applications or are in the process of doing so. We'll be following up with you after this call to see if there's anything we can do to support you in your application. The program will last for 6 months. So it's a 6-month program starting around the end of October, and it will continue until April 2026. It will be mostly online. So most of your experience will take place online. However, there will be at the beginning and the end a kickoff and a closing event. And these, I think maybe Rezki can speak about this later, is possibly some of the most valuable and memorable parts of the program. These will be taking place in Jakarta. So in Jakarta, at the end of October 22nd, there will be the first 3-day event together, which will be a series of workshops, boot camps, but also networking and experiences, as well as getting to know what the program methodology is and a bit more in detail what your experience in this program would look like. Then in April next year, 2026, there will be a demo day in Jakarta. This is also a multiple day event with 2 or 3 days around advocacy and also some final stage support that we bring to the entrepreneurs. And then we showcase your sort of solutions and the work that you have been doing to an external audience of investors and sort of key stakeholders in this space. Just going to let Adam catch up with the sign. We're good? Okay. We have something called the SMART methodology. And I'm going to, in the next slide, tell you a bit more about what this is, because this is going to be your experience of the program. Essentially, your experience in this program is all about running experiments and sort of defining or testing hypotheses in your business. So we break this down and we say, okay, what are the things that you were trying to achieve? What are hypotheses that could maybe get you there? And how can you measure these? And you would take these and you would design a structured sprint or an experiment in order to test ideas and gather real world data. From this, you would then be able to validate your results to refine your products or your services or the strategies that you are doing. Essentially, what we do is we're giving you the tools to de-risk your growth and to ensure data-driven growth. So it's a little bit different to other programs. It's not like a Monday morning, you have a workshop with everybody, and then next week you have another work. It's not the same structure as that. You'll be doing your own path, your own journey throughout this program. And you'll be testing and validating hypotheses and sort of using data-driven decisions to validate what you are trying to achieve and to grow. For example, in cohort 1, let's think of one of the entrepreneurs in there. Yes, so they had an example of they were unsure of their B2B business model and were keen to explore B2C. However, they didn't have a clear plan as to how to actually do this. So we helped them to design a sprint or an experiment, which was broken down into smaller chunks of let's gather real customer feedback from potential people and who could be B2C customers. Let's understand what their needs are and so on. And then we shall actually test a certain product offering with them. From this, they've now actually opened up in an entire new B2C segment for their own business. Now, I see we had one hand up. I'm very happy to answer it now, or if you want to wait till the end, it's up to you.
It's up to you. I'll ask the question, and then you decide if you want to answer now, or maybe answer is already covered in the next slide or so.
Sure.
So my question was basically, can we also define probably a goal kind of stuff which says, I want to expand to other countries, maybe one of the Asian countries, and hence these sub goals could be the measurement of how we're going to do and what we're going to do, etc. Is that okay? Or with the existing product and solution, we'll have to pick up something to measure for the next 6 months. How is that?
Sure. So I do touch upon this later, but to briefly answer, that is something we help with. We defined an experiment to help you to expand into a new market. So we actually had, I think, 3 or 4 businesses in cohort 1 who expanded into new markets. And this can be broken down into a series of smaller stage actions of, okay, identify potential partners, speak with them, and so on, and then formulate a go-to market strategy with them. We also bring in external mentors and experts who have experience in this go-to market strategy and market expansion. So there's various ways that we provide support. We don't do it for you. We give you the tools or the sort of a data-driven approach to achieve that. And I'll go into that a little bit more detail later, but good question.
Thank you.
No worries. So what do we offer you throughout this program? So like I mentioned earlier, this is a fully customized experience. So you will not be necessarily on Monday and then on a Wednesday, the entire cohort attends one masterclass or a workshop, and then you will attend a peer-to-peer session on a Wednesday. That still does happen, but not as frequently. But you will have your own experiments, your own journey in this with an assigned coach. We call them entrepreneurs in residence, and you will have an EIR or a coach work with you on a weekly basis. You meet with them every week to discuss your experiments, the actions that you are taking, any blockers. And then with that, you will be able to formulate and drive your growth. We also have mentorship. So Seedstars has a vast network of mentors globally. And now we have also some in the assistive tech space, and we can help you to work with them. We provide, I think, around 6 sessions per startup, if not some more per startup throughout the program. And these can be mentors who have expertise in a range of topics. It could be sort of go-to-market strategies, as discussed earlier. It could be sort of marketing approaches and strategies. It could be legal components or regulatory hurdles for certain industries or certain markets and so on. We will take later on in the application process, if you make it into the next stage, we have a conversation with you to understand your needs and what it is you're really hoping to achieve. And we identify mentors based on that. There's also investors. So one of the key internal KPIs for Seedstars, or key sort of internal success metrics, is the investability of the businesses here. And so we want to support you in facilitating connections to the right investors. This space, I'm sure you all know very well, it is not the easiest space to get traditional investments. So we work with you to facilitate how to speak to the right investors, how to pitch to them, different types of investors, whether it's philanthropic funds, CSR, or maybe other alternative mechanisms. And we work to sort of support you in reaching the right people with the right narrative. We also do this across other things. So this could be partnerships. We have facilitated introductions here. This could be partnerships. It could be other players in the ecosystem. It could be people in new markets you're looking to work with. We can also support with this. Lastly, we also have awards and recognitions. From Cohort 1, you'll see in the next slide, we managed to achieve quite a few Forbes 30 under 30 awards for the people in our cohorts. And various people won quite a few awards throughout their time with us. To give you a sense of what we achieved in the first cohort, because this could be you, right? In the second cohort, we really want to see this, if not even better. So as a cohort, per month on average, they were generating $225,000 US dollars in monthly revenue. The cohort in the space of 6 months created 141 jobs, whether through internal expansion or the supporting their clients to grow as well. And they reached over 22,000 people, whether it was SMEs or intermediaries or people with disabilities over the course of 6 months. Fundraising. The cohort managed to raise 1.27 million US dollars in the first cohort. And 3 of them achieved Forbes 30 under 30 awards. So I think we're doing something right. And I really hope to be able to work with you in the next cohorts. But let's now hand it over to my friend Rezki. Rezki is going to share, just for 5 minutes or so, a little bit about his journey with Seedstars. Rezki is the CEO of Parakerja, an Indonesian-based organization. And I'm not going to say too much because Rezki, this is your story. But before we go on to that, I see just one hand raised. So Arasi.
Hi, Archie. Thanks a lot for the session so far. And so I have a quick question. You said there is a 30 under 30 awards. And so is there any age criteria for applying to this program?
For this cohort? I think that was your question in the application form, right? No, there is not. So there's no age limit to this. The Forbes 30 under 30 is, of course, under 30. But for this, our program, no age limits. It would not be an inclusive program if that was the case. Wonderful. Okay, so Rezki, I'm going to hand it over to you. I can see you, but I hope everyone can hear you. And Rezki is going to answer sort of 3 or 4 questions for us. So one is a little bit about his biggest success as a result of this program. As a founder, what was good or unique about this program for him? And then hopefully he has an inspiring message about why you should join the SEED Inclusivity Program. So Rezki, hello, thank you so much for joining. I will let you speak up now.
Hello, Archie and everyone. Hello, my name is Rezki. I'm from Indonesia. I'm the founder as well as the CEO of Parakerja, and I I was the part of SEED Inclusivity Cohort 1. And I'm so happy to be here to tell you about my experience from joining this program. For the first question, what was my biggest success as a result of this program? During 6 months of early 2025, January to July 2025, I achieved more milestones compared to the past 6 years of Parakerja. So Parakerja is already 7 years, and with Seedstars, the past 6 months was the biggest achieved milestones. I acquired a lot of new bank sectors in Indonesia, so they can get training for people with disabilities, and also hire people with disabilities, because in my company we train and also hire people with disabilities to a lot of companies in B2B sectors. And there's a big success to acquire many Indonesian banking sectors and also international banking sectors. And also I think the good point of this program is the coaching. I mean, every week I have a coaching session with my mentors, and I have a live report to them about my achievements, about my challenges, and how to solve these problems. Because in SEED Inclusivity, the mentors are so capable to help us in designing the project, designing some solutions, and helping us to focus on one thing. And it really helps me to hire more people to my teams, make some campaigns in marketing strategies, and it works. Some of them didn't really work, but then it can be a good evaluation for us, and it's a good feedback from the Seedstars team. So we can try another solution B, solution C, and get more money. Of course, as the founders and a business owner, what we want to achieve is more market, more money, more connection, more network, and these programs will really help us to achieve that. And why you should join this program? Because first, it's really accessible for everyone here who are deaf. There will be sign language interpreter for the with visual impairment. There will be accessibilities for you also, and even for another needs of people with disabilities. This program will really support you guys in doing this business. That's the first. The second is the mentorship. So it's really valuable, and also the network with Seedstars and also Visa Foundation networks. And good luck with the application this year, and see you in Jakarta.
Thank you, Rezki. I was just trying to find my unmute button. But thank you so much, Rezki, and very, very complimentary words. Thank you. So Rezki is also a Forbes 30 under 30 nominee himself, awardee. Before Seedstars, before he even joined the SEED Inclusivity Program. And so I think the work he's been doing is incredible, and it's been very fun and very rewarding to get to know him through the program. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in Jakarta, Rezki, in just a couple of months now. So I'm going to jump into the questions. So there's quite a few questions that popped up in the applications. And so I'm going to go through them quite quickly and just give you sort of yes, no question answers, or any sort of details that the question may require. Do I need to be based in a specific location to apply? This is an Asia-focused program, but you can be an organization that is looking to expand into Asia or has operations already in Asia. Priority is given to Indonesia applicants, but we are also very much wanting to include other nations and other countries. So we have Indian, Vietnamese, in the previous cohort, we had Thai, we had Hong Kong. So these are also very much encouraged. What is the duration of the program? 6 months. Short, sweet answer, it is 6 months. Who can apply to the SEED Inclusivity Program? This, I think, is going to answer quite a lot of the questions that came up, but I will also adjust them individually. But we are looking to work with entrepreneurs with disabilities or founders of assistive technology or accessibility or any sort of solution that is working towards the needs of people with disabilities. Ideally, you are already generating some revenue. And ideally, if that is a challenge, we also take a look at the impacts that you have created. What is the traction that you have already proven? So that is where it's ideally revenue generating. But if you have not got a sort of monthly recurring revenue, we are still open to considering your application. But we would want to see if you have generated impact or you have some kind of proven traction in some way, shape, or form. Startups in Indonesia, in India, in Vietnam, and other parts of Asia are, of course, encouraged to apply. Our focus is on scalable solutions. We're really hoping to achieve some cool impacts together. And we are really hoping, so when you apply, if you can try and show and prove the scalability of your product, that is a big bonus. So, is there a preference for the certain types of applicants? So, essentially, startups led by people with disabilities, or those that include significant contribution from individuals with disabilities in their team, in their founding team, or within the organization. And of course, businesses that are working directly to address the needs or sort of create solutions for people living with disabilities. What stage should my startup be at to apply? So minimum viable product is ideal. Some initial traction, so users or revenue or impact metrics, and preferably a clear plan for scaling or for growth. You have some kind of inkling or idea of where you're trying to go so that we can work with you to get there, essentially. Do I need to be a founder with a disability? No. In our last cohorts, just over half of the entrepreneurs were founders with disabilities, but we of course include other people as well. So you don't have to be a founder with a disability to join this program, which is actually the same question as one of these questions that came up in the registration form. So yes, you can still participate, of course. I'm exploring a new customer base of people with disabilities and adapting my product accordingly. Could I apply? Yes, you certainly can. You have an existing product that is not necessarily tailored or geared at disability, but you are looking to enter into this space. Yes, you can apply. We just need to see a good idea of what that plan is. And a commitment to it, because we don't want to bring someone into the program who sort of wanted to do that, but then doesn't do it. That is not what this program is for. So we'd have to see, a strong commitment to making that happen. How much time will it require for me to participate in the program? So, as I said, it's a 6-month program. On a weekly basis, we imagine you have a 1 hour or 40-minute call with your assigned coach every week. And these are very crucial. We have proven from our first one, if you don't attend these, the growth that you achieve at the end is much lower or not as impactful. So you have at least that 1 hour a week with a coach. And then you will be running your own experiments on the side. My sales pitch to you is this is work that you would be doing anyway. We're just giving you I like to think a more clear-cut sort of path or way of achieving certain types of growth. So you'll be working on your experiments, your sprints to achieve certain goals or test certain validations and assumptions. And This work will be directly contributing towards your own business goals, as it's a personalized, customized program experience for everybody. So we're not giving you extra, let's call it homework. You must go and do X, Y, Z for the program. You choose something that you are working on, and you go and work on that, which is directly beneficial for your business. So you have a 1 hour, and then you have the work on your experiments, and this can really range every week. As a founder, I can't participate in the program, but would like somebody else in my team to do so. Is this possible? Yes. We had this in cohort 1. We had one founder who joined, but also two entrepreneurs actually. They allocated this project to 2 of their team members. It was a growth opportunity for the team members to take on a new challenge and to lead something within the business. And this is certainly okay. This is a very juicy question. Would the program provide us with any sort of seed grant or funding? In short, no. We would like to, but in this program, the goal is to achieve growth through your own sort of testing and validating of hypotheses and through the experiments. We have an investor network that is strong. We are quite well known in this space, and Seedstars is a venture capital itself. So we are able to facilitate those connections and to help with this. Like I mentioned earlier, in the previous cohort, they raised $1.27 million in funding. So this is something we are going to be able to work with you on. It is not a guarantee 100% yes, but we also help you in terms of fundraising, in terms of pitching, in terms of how to make your deck look good, how to have the right voice and tone. Can you please share program benefits and timelines? So I think we've sort of touched upon a lot of these already, but it's a 6-month growth program starting in October. You have a one-on-one mentoring sessions with a coach or coaching sessions every week. There's investment readiness workshops. There's a pitching competition at the end. We also will be creating a lot of content around you. We will be interviewing you. We will be generating videos about you. And we share this amongst our broader network. And it's also great for you in terms of your own sort of storytelling narratives and your PR efforts. So we do that with you as well. Networking opportunities are really big with the SEED Inclusivity Program. We will also be hosting, as the program goes, we will see what are the common challenges or needs that are coming up. And we will say, okay, it looks like most of the entrepreneurs are really finding it a challenge to expand into another market. We will then invite an external speaker to come in and host a session on this. But it's on a needs basis. So it's not a fixed schedule, it's on a needs basis. Rezki, I'm going to just ask you, is there anything else you would want the entrepreneurs here to know about any benefits of the program or anything that maybe hasn't been mentioned yet?
Yep. Thank you, Archie. During the program, I have a big connection with Indian startups, and Parakerja just last month, my startup just had a MOU to have a collaboration with an Indian startups. So we have a collaboration across the country, Indonesia and India, and also another feasibility studies with Thailand's startups. So I think why you really need to join this program is to get the connection, because previously when I joined an accelerator program or some kind of program like this, it's not really opening my network, because the inclusive assistive tech accessibility startups is really a small number in the world, right? So in this program, all of them are your ecosystem. I really feel empowered every time I go to I have the meeting with Seedstars cohort, because we talk about the same thing. we talk about the same issue. We talk about inclusivity. We talk about how to get the grants, to connect with some organizations, and we can compete in international level. So it's not just in Indonesia. Even we will do this in Indonesia, but like what I said, I'm Indonesian, but the first cohort was in India, and it really empowered me as a business owner and enlightened me. Oh, this is how this business should be, because this program really tailored to the needs of people with disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Rezki. I think a moment in the program with Rezki that I was particularly proud of in the cohort 1 was, I think, Rezki, before you joined the program, you said Parakerja still isn't 100% sure who its customer is, who your sort of paying customer is. And I think as a results program, you managed to design an experiment and then really figure out who should be your paying customers. So that was very cool, just to help you with your customer segments. I'll move on to the next question now. How many physical meetups and sessions will happen during the program? We have one at the beginning, so end of October. There will be one at the very beginning for 3 days. We will fly everyone to Jakarta, and that is our cost. We covered the cost of one founder per team with their flights and their accommodation and any visa. If they require any assistance or any accommodation or someone to travel with them for support, we also covered those costs. You are welcome to bring in other team members, but that is your own cost. And this is also the same for the demo day at the end of the program. So there's 2 physical meetups, one at the beginning and one at the end, and we cover the costs of the one founder and one carer, essentially. Will the demo day be physical or virtual? It will be physical. Short and sweet. Next question. Will the meetups be in Indonesia or other countries? This time it will be focused in Indonesia. There will be, we have seen some programs, a large proportion of participants being in another country, and we can sometimes facilitate a small meetup there, but the big sort of 3-day meetups will be taking place in Jakarta in Indonesia. What topics will be covered during the capacity building sessions? As mentioned earlier, it depends on the shared challenges or needs that we are seeing across the cohort. So to give you a sense of cohort 1, we noticed that within the first 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of the founders had spoken with their coaches around their struggle to measure impact and to communicate that impact. So we brought in one of our experts on impact storytelling and monitoring and evaluation and learning, and they hosted a session on that. Likewise, a lot of them are talking about fundraising in assistive technologies. And we brought in someone who is an expert in that, and they gave a session on that. So it's very much tailored to what we are seeing amongst the cohorts. And it could be different for this cohort. But in the first cohort, it was impact and impact tracking and reporting and storytelling and assistive tech fundraising strategies. Will travel costs be paid by the program? Yes, for one founder per startup. Who are the partners we can collaborate with in your disability network? So Rezki's already spoken a little bit about the rest of the cohort being some of your new partners. But what else do we bring on top of this? So we have impact investors and impact linked funds. We work globally with CSR, sort of teams from businesses. And we also have our own network of venture capitalists across the world. We have some disability alliances. So perhaps you are looking to expand your customer base. And this could be in a new market, or it could be in a new region in your own country. And we have some connections to various disability alliances across Asia, and we can work with them to help you reach that new customer base. And likewise with advocacy groups, other founders, and venture capitalists. Will we get support or guidance with international expansions? So this is the question that came up earlier. In short, yes. So I know from cohort 1, I want to say it was 4, potentially 5 of the founders expanded into new markets as a result of this program. And we facilitated this with not only connections, but also with mentors who have expertise in those markets to support them. And in some cases, there was, I think, a facilitated introduction to an actual new partner in those markets. So we do support with that, but also your coach, who you meet with weekly, will be able to work with you to define a plan and how to actually make that happen. So yes, we do. We are a growing company looking to expand our services in Southeast Asia. Could we apply? Yes. Simple. Yes, we certainly can. Do the SEED Inclusivity Cohort 2 applicants need to be at revenue generating stage? Ideally, yes. And we are looking at companies that have existing traction, existing user base, or existing revenue, or existing impacts that we can see. And the reason for this is because we want to ensure that there's the same standard or same stage of startups in the program. So if you're worried that maybe you're not a recurring revenue stage at the moment, I would emphasize in your application the impact that you've already generated, the user base that you're already serving, something like this. Does Inclusivity provide support for hardware-based assistive technology startups? Or is it mainly focused on software solutions? Yes, we do. So in cohort 1, we had quite a mix of different types of businesses, actually. So we had a mix of accessibility solutions for people with visual impairments. We had hardware, so we had mobility devices in order to create new livelihood opportunities for people who use wheelchairs. And then we also had sort of neurodiversity products and so on. So quite a range of things. And yes, we work on the hardware-based side of things. We are not going to work with you specifically with the prototyping and sort of the development of these products, but we help you to define a strategy or a plan to validate the prototyping itself, if that makes sense. So if you have a certain, let's say it's a AI-enabled prosthesis, we don't work with you in terms of the actual tech. That is not our role. But we can certainly work with you to understand what is it you are trying to achieve, and what is that customer feedback loop that you should be incorporating, and so on. Suket, I can see your hand up.
Yes. Hi. My question was regarding the revenues that we generate. Because in the previous year, we had initial revenue. What is the kind of revenue that you look while evaluation? Because in the form it says about last month and last 2 months data that we have to enter. So what is the kind of revenue is a cutoff for the program?
So we don't have a benchmark exactly for this. What we want to see is recurring revenue. So we want to see a history of has there been revenue coming into the business regularly, or is the business still at sort of an MVP stage? So there's not an exact figure or number that you should be aiming for. It's more about proving to us that there is a need for your product, because it tells us that there's a potential scalability for it, if that makes sense.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Archie.
No worries. Do we have any age limitations if it should be below 35? No, anyone can apply. In the previous cohorts, there's quite a range of ages, so anyone can apply at any age. And that was all the questions that we saw in the application form. I'll leave a bit of time now for any further questions. JSU, then I can see your hand is up. So please do feel free to ask a question. If anyone else has any questions, type it in the chat or also raise your hands.
Yeah, so I have 3 questions for you. One question for, I didn't get his name, sorry. The previous cohort. Yeah. First question is with respect to mentors. I understand you have mentors in the context of expanding to other countries. As mentioned, the regional mentors will be assigned. Could we see the mentors list? For example, if we target, say, US or UK, do we know whom we can reach out to and start? I mean, your mentor list access. That's number 1. Number 2 was with respect to cloud credits. We are a tech-based company, so obviously we need cloud credits. I don't know if that's part of this program. Cloud credits from Google or Microsoft, AWS, like that. So that's the second question. Third, I understand you do market connect if it's applicable. They also want to understand if you can get some pilot deployment opportunities in the geographies that we're already there. Yeah, so these are the 3 questions for you.
Okay, thank you very much. I can address a couple of the questions, and then I might ask you to repeat one of them. I wasn't sure what it was, but in terms of the mentor lists, so Seedstars, if you go to the SEED Inclusivity website, you can see some of the network that we have there. That is not exhaustive. That is just an inclination of the types of people. However, Seedstars is very good at bringing in new mentors. So if you're saying, oh, we really need a certain mentor in a very specific topic, we actually have a team dedicated to this in all of our programs. So we look out and we go out there and we try and identify someone who can support you with this. We then facilitate a 15-minute session for both of you just to meet and go, this makes sense, let's continue. And that is 15 minutes sort of bite-sized meeting. If it seems to be a good match, shall we say, then we continue to facilitate, there could be 6 sessions with them, 3 sessions with them, and so on. So we're actually very proactive in trying to find the relevant people for you. And in the application stage, if you make it into the first stage after that, we will have a conversation with you around the specific types of mentorship that you would be looking for, or generally the needs of your business. And we will identify a certain number of names and show you those names and say, hey, pick one of these, which one seems to make the most sense for you, and we can work with you to speak with them. Cool. In terms of the pilots in new geographies, yes. So we might not necessarily have the perfect network or the perfect organization, but we can work with you to understand who do you want to run a pilot with, and to help facilitate these introductions, and we go out there and trying to make that come to life with you. The actual execution and agreements, that's down to you, of course, but we can use our brand name to support you in having those conversations in the first place. The second question, I answered your first and your third. I wasn't sure what the second one was.
Second question was about cloud credits.
About what, sorry?
Cloud credits.
Okay.
From Google or Microsoft or AWS.
Sure. So I can talk a little bit about some of the perks that we offer in terms of the tools that we have for this program. I think Romy, if one of my colleagues is here, he may be able to add to this. But we do have a series of tools that we can give you either discounted access to as a result of the partnerships that we have. And this includes Amazon Web Services. So I know they are one of our partners. And Romy would be the one to help you with this. His is the name Seedstars in this group. So we can work with you. That we also have other perks such as it can be HubSpot or Xero, accounting services, quite a range of different tools that you can use during your time with us and beyond.
All right, thank you. So one question for Rezki, if you do have time.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I forget the question. I'm sorry for that.
I know it is. I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
So what were your key learnings and what did you unlearn? Right? So what learnings and what unlearnings did you do from this program?
Good questions. Yeah. So my key takeaways from this is about teamworks. At first, before this, I think that I am the one who understand every aspect of my business because I am the founder, I am the CEO, I know everything. But then what I learned from this program is you really have to change that mindset. You really have to do this in a team. So I can focus on the strategy, and my team can focus on financial, my team can focus on operational. And at first, I was afraid. Honestly, I was afraid that if I hire this team, do I really need them? Like, I spend money to hire people, but then I thought that I still can handle this, but then since inclusivity, my mentor said hire people. So there's a space of my time to handle the strategy and handle the conflict, handle the problems, not just the technical things. And I think it's so valuable because previously, all of my mentors from any other accelerator program said that you have to do this, and this. So it makes me think that I personally have to do that. In here, the focus is different. We talk about the strategy, and my mentor said, gave me his network. Connect these people, connect to these people, connect to these people, and then this is how you make the customized offer to ask them to be the advisor, to be an investor, to be your potential clients. That's the first. And the second is was changing the business model because I used to have this kind of business model, let's say business model A, but then my mentors in this program said, oh, maybe we can do this, and this, and then I changed the business model. Then back again, I was so afraid to do that. I was so worried that it will be unsuccessful, but then because of the network, the teamwork, and the honesty, we can do this in a good way. So that's the thing that I learned and unlearned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Arasi.
Rezki, great learning, it actually resonated a lot with me. I'm so excited. Thanks for this. And then the question to you, Archie, is that, like I mentioned in the application form, we are a senior citizen company, and so we are not directly a disabled company, but of course, there are many senior citizens who are working in who are disabled, but our model can be replicated for disabled people as well. And so that is the reason I was very interested in the program. And so is it a good thing to apply, or am I not in the spectrum of your, ideal profile?
I think it's a good idea. And the reason for it is because if we are able to work with you to essentially open up a new customer segment, as you say, elderly is not necessarily, disability is not synonymous. They're not the same thing, but there's certainly a scope in your product offering to serve a different customer segment, and that could be people with disabilities. So I do encourage it. I think there's a way to grow your business in expanding who you are reaching. We would need to see that commitment or that sort of idea in the application forms to see how might that work. And of course, elderly is not actually completely out of scope either. So I mean, I'm very biased, but I do think, yes, you should apply.
Thank you. Thanks for the, being honest, and I'll definitely try and apply. And yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Well, if there are any further questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, we can wrap it up.
I'm sorry,
here
I
a
think
little
there
bit
was one
early.
question in the chat box.
Yeah, there's the question in the chat from
Let
Rahman.
me have a look. Is there any connection of this program with AT 2030 program, UN and GDI Hub? No, essentially. We do know this program and we are actually very well connected with GDI Hub. And we have done a lot of work with the UN, very many different departments of the UN. So I'm not sure which department this program is specifically. I think it's UNDP. But we are connected with them. Is there a intention to try and sort of partner with them or anything like that? If so, we are well connected with GDI Hub particularly, so we can certainly work to make that happen. But there is no direct relation from the SEED Inclusivity Program by Seedstars and Visa with this program. They are separate programs. Okay. Well,
Thank you.
so much, everybody.
Hello.
Any
Hello.
pro tip, any brownie points for attending the session and asking you for any insider tips for all of us here?
Hello.
Many.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Ashwani.
Yeah. Hi, Archie. Basically, I am building a solution for visually impaired people, AI smart glasses and software. So my product is under development stage, and we are producing our hardware, but my software is launched. It's application is launched in Play Store. It's people are using. So currently we don't have a very good traction, but we have a user and good collaboration of the hospitals and other NGOs. Can I apply in this program? I am eligible or not?
Interesting. Okay, so in this case, I think yes, you can apply is the short answer. What I would be curious in the program is how do we work with you to see the software side of it as a scalable solution, which might address a different customer base or a user base that perhaps you are previously already working with. And the reason I say this is there's sometimes a technology that is designed for one thing, but actually its use case can be several different use cases. And that's where it gets very interesting because there might be a whole scope of customers out there or different offerings that you can use for that use case. The hardware is another thing. That's obviously a bit of a harder physical product, which is more, you need to develop it and disseminate it and so on. But the software can maybe be applied to other industries or other use cases. And that's something I think would be very interesting to work with you on in terms of the potential scalability.
Yeah, like my software is pairing with the hardware, and it's my whole software is designed for operating hardware. It's personalizing the according visually impaired people like a language and speak out latency and everything. It's like designed for the customization. So we are under like a development. So
So in development mode, sure. So I will be transparent and say we do prioritize applications with a sort of a proven traction, whether that's impact, user base, or revenue. And so that would be something we would like to see. And the potential scalability is one of the criteria that we judge essentially.
Okay.
So it would be good to try and sort of highlight or emphasize that in the application if you can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I think maybe no further questions. Thank you so much to everyone for joining. We hope to see your applications soon. You can find me on LinkedIn or you can message me on LinkedIn if you have any further questions. Rezki, thank you for joining. But for everyone else, I think we'll wrap up here and enjoy the rest of your days. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Archie. Thank you, Adam. Bye.
Thank you. And thank you, Adam, so much for your support as well. Thank you.